keeps us separated. Tell me what you think about equal rights for all in every way. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one. Oh, love. So many can testify. Love, oh, love. But you still can't satisfy. You keep on praying. You wish that day would come when there'll be equal rights and justice for every man. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite. What you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one. Tell me what you think about justice, brother man. Oh, tell me what you know about love. Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation, child.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 17 minutes moving away from the hour. It's now time for Policing with You.
Good morning, all, and welcome to our Policing with You. I'm your host, Inspector Shauna Edwards, and in the studio with us, we have Director of Public Prosecutions, Mrs. Gretes Gordon Hazel. Welcome.
Good morning.
Right.
Thank you for having me. Good morning to the listening and viewing audience.
Right. As usual, every Thursday we come before you and we present some very interesting topics. And today we will be presenting some information on the Director of Public Prosecutions Office, what it entails, what they do, and that kind of stuff. So stay tuned and feel free to call in and ask questions as we go through the program. Could you please introduce yourself first, Mrs.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gretes Gordon Hazel. I am the Acting Director of Public Prosecutions. I have been a prosecutor for 11 years within the same department, and I'm pleased to be able to serve the country in such a capacity.
Thank you. Well, firstly, allow me to formally congratulate you on your new acting appointment as DPP. For those who do not understand DPP, it means Director of Public Prosecutions, and hereinafter we will use the term DPP for short. How has your experience been so far, and are you enjoying your new role?
It is not a new role for me. I have been acting director before. This stint is just longer than it has been in the past. It hasn't come with without its challenges, but nothing that we as an office has not been able to overcome.
Wow. So, not new.
It's not new, but I am enjoying the experience.
That's good. Right. For the listeners out there, can you just give us a brief outline of the composition of the DPP's office?
The DPP's office is composed of 21 staff. Those 21 staff are distributed within 3 districts: District A, District B, and District C. District A is from Keyon coming to Bastia, going down to West Farm. District B is from West Farm to Keyon in the other direction. And District C is the whole of Nevis.
Wow.
Yes,
That's almost similar to our policing districts.
it is. It's the same district.
The same,
yes.
okay.
So in District A, there are currently 4 Crown Counsel.
Yes.
There is 1 police prosecutor,
Yes.
1 legal research officer, 1 witness liaison to the High Court. There's 4 administrative staff and 6 orderlies.
Okay.
In District B, we have 1 police prosecutor and 1 police orderly. And in District C, we have 1 Crown Counsel and 1 police orderly. The 4 administrative staff that I mentioned before
Yes.
is responsible for servicing all of the districts.
Wow. That's quite a job.
It is.
It is. Right. That's very nice to hear. Your staff is capable of serving the entire population in terms of A, B, and C.
We are capable of doing it, but of course, the cry is for more staff.
Yes, I hear that cry and I sympathize with you or empathize with you as the case may be, because we have that same thing here. But in any institution though, sometimes we have a lot of capable people, but that doesn't mean that we can't take the help. Sometimes you need the help because you become overwhelmed. But nonetheless, your role as DPP, what does that entail?
The DPP is a constitutional post. It's created by the Constitution, and it gives the person holding the office the power to institute criminal proceedings and to take over criminal proceedings as well. You know, there are private criminal matters.
Yes.
The DPP also has the power to take over the private criminal matters if necessary. The DPP also has the power to discontinue matters as well. But ultimately, the DPP is responsible for prosecuting all criminal matters within the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis.
Wow. It's a great task.
It is a very great task.
No wonder you have assistants to help in that feat. Could you give an example as to when the DPP may take over a criminal matter?
A private criminal matter?
Yes, that could work. Yes.
Okay. So, there are instances where people feel that they want to go through it, go through the process themselves without getting the police or anyone involved. And in those cases, they take the matter to the court from start to finish. And there may be cases where the DPP does not think that the matter should be in the court system.
Yes.
The DPP may choose to take over the matter and discontinue it. Or if it is one that he feels is of importance, then he will take it over. He or she will take it over and prosecute the matter.
Okay, wow. So we are saying now that the DP more or less is the ultimate in terms of criminal matters.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. Do we have any callers on the line?
Oh, not at the moment, but if you want, we can take a break and
Yes.
we'll be back.
Right.
The number to call when we return will be 465-2555.
Each day, we see how unpredictable life can be. So let Nagico Insurances help you prepare and safeguard what matters most. We provide solid coverage you can depend on, like life insurance to provide financial security for those you love, medical that covers dental, vision, and preventative care, and auto insurance with comprehensive coverage so you can drive with confidence. For all your insurance needs, visit us at Nagico.com. Nagico Insurances, fast, fair, and always there.
Do you want to level up your internet speed? Then say yes to better, faster internet by saying hello to the cable. Sign up now and you'll be saying yes. Here's why. The cable's giving you twice the speed, up to a whopping 320 megabits per second without adding a cent to the price. Say yes to blazing speeds for browsing, streaming, and gaming. Say yes to free installation and a special discount for Ultra TV customers. Sign up for internet in March and get a 20% discount on your internet bill for 3 months. Say yes today to the cable's doubled internet speeds, best internet service, and best value in St. Kitts. Say yes to the cable and get more. Terms and conditions apply.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Welcome back to Policing with You. 26 minutes moving away from the hour. We have our first call. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning, Judge GQ
Good morning, Culture.
and two DPPs.
Good morning, Culture.
Thank you. When I heard that the program gonna have on DPP, that we get frightened because I never wonder with me last year. Anyway, GQ could tell you about that. Lovely program. I have a question or two. Now,
Go ahead.
yes. Now, where are the different reasons and places why one should get a license for a gun? I know for sure one shall get a license for a gun to protect their home, and the other one I know to protect their business. Now, suppose I have a gun and I have a license, and I'm traveling in a bus, a public transportation vehicle. Do I have any right to take out my gun in the bus and show the passengers I have a gun? I will be breaking the law, or I would not be breaking the law. I will listen off the ear, so give somebody a chance to get in. Is that okay?
It depends, yes, sir. It
Okay.
depends on what you have the license for. Sometimes you have a license to keep and a license to carry. If you do not have a license to carry, then you can't take it with you on a passenger bus. It has to remain in your home. Okay? I hope that helps, Culture.
All right, we don't have any calls at the moment, but the lines are open just in case you just tuned in. 465-2555. That's 2555.
Right, so let's get back to our conversation. From your vantage point, could you speak about the relationship between the police officers and your office?
I would first like to say that the police force and the DPP's office are two separate and distinct entities. The police force is responsible for investigating the matters and charging suspects, whereas the DPP's office is responsible for providing advice to the police on whether to charge or not. We also give advice on whether or not we think that further investigations need to be done in specific areas in order for additional statements to be taken in order to strengthen the case.
Okay. So you can also give the appropriate charge then. Because let's say, for example, somebody is charged for robbery, and when you look at the statements and the evidence, you're not getting robbery, but you're getting maybe larceny from the person. So
yes, in cases like that, if we don't see a specific offense made out,
Yes.
we advise to charge for something else. Yes. The police force does not always have to accept the advice, but most times they do. So
Yes.
we tend to have a good working relationship with the police force.
That's very
Because
good.
if the matters are not investigated, they cannot be prosecuted,
And then justice will be denied.
and justice will be denied.
And we
yes.
really don't want that, and that's why we have you here to clear up a lot of stuff for us.
Before you continue, we have a call on hold.
Yes.
Good morning, you're live.
Good morning to everybody, the whole panel. Good morning.
Good morning.
One or two questions. As regards to Rule 2911, okay, I know you DPP and you deal mostly with crime, but I'm looking at a civil matter. As regards to Rule 2911, whereas a witness statement did not file on time, does that necessarily throw out the whole life of the case? Is it something that is that can be challenging to the Constitution? Where is the right of the individual to be heard in a democratic and constitutional matter? Can you answer that, please? I do not know if I framed my question correctly.
Well, sir, there are different rules of the court. I am here to speak on the criminal aspect of the court, as I do not deal with the civil aspect of the court. So I will leave that for the Attorney General or the Solicitor General to respond to.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay.
All right, man.
Thank you for calling. Yes.
We have another call on.
Go ahead.
Good morning, you're live.
JQ.
Yes, man, good morning.
Good morning, this is Sonny Boy. I'm calling you from New York. I'm admiring the show. What's the name of the young inspector?
Inspector Shauna Francis Edwards.
Okay, oh, you Inspector Edwards' wife, right?
No.
Oh, you
No
just have the
relation.
same name. But I'm saying this to say this. I'm looking forward. I live in New York. I'm born in St. Kitts. I live in New York over 50 years. I'm looking forward to see the first female commissioner in St. Kitts. And I hope I can see that in my lifetime. I'm just calling to compliment the show, and I'm a fan of the show. So you have a wonderful day and a great future. Maybe one day you might be the commissioner. You never know.
Thank you,
guys.
caller. Thank you.
Thank you for your call. Let's take this next one. Good morning, you're live.
Yes, a pleasant good morning.
Good morning.
Just one little something. Why is it the license gun have more penalty than like an ordinary man, like say GQ me find with a gun? Why is it the licensed person who have a licensed gun have so much penalty on it? I listen after you. Thank you.
The question is, why is it that the penalty for a licensed firearm is greater than that of an illegal firearm?
The penalty is not greater.
The caller feels so.
The penalty is not greater. The penalty for offenses committed while carrying a licensed firearm would be the same if the gun was an illegal firearm. There's no difference in the penalty. The penalties are different depending on the sentence that the court gives. But the overall penalty is not different. It's the same penalty.
Thank you. We can continue? Right. Yes. What are some of the benefits in the DPP, within the DPP's office? Benefits of the police prosecutors in the DPP's office?
Having police prosecutors are beneficial to the DPP's office because they are able to deal with the summary matters in the High in the magistrates court, sorry,
yes.
which would then free up the Crown Counsels to be able to prosecute the matters in the High Court. Currently, we have 2 police prosecutors for 5 magistrates court.
Wow. You need more police
We
prosecutors.
need more police prosecutors, yes. So you can understand that.
Yes. The weight
The
that
weight
these
that
2
is
police.
placed, yes. So currently, what we have are the Crown Counsel filling in the magistrates court,
Okay.
while still have to be prosecuting matters in the High Court.
Right. It's a
All right.
big burden to carry.
And indeed it is. We do have another call, though. Good morning, you're live.
Yes, GQ and prosecutor. How I understand the question, the last question that the guy asked, the difference between the penalty for a licensed firearm and an unlicensed firearm, because every December there is a notice on the radio warning people who have a licensed firearm that they must come and license it before the 31st of December. Because anytime after the 31st of December, the penalty is $5,000 or 12 months in prison. And when you catch someone with an unlicensed firearm, sometimes it's just like a 6 months in jail or a smaller fine. So I think that is the way the caller meant when he asked the difference.
Okay, let me correct you with 1 or 2 things, please.
Yeah.
With reference to the licensing of firearms, the licensing period is 1st to 31st January every year, and not 31st December. When you license it within January, it is licensed for the whole year, which carries you down until the 31st of December. And the reason why they remind you, the notice is reminding you that if you keep it, it is illegal.
Yeah, because
So it is treated the same way as if you didn't have a license. It's treated the same way.
Okay, but the penalties are different though.
It depends on the situation at hand, the circumstances surrounding you, whether, well, the police obtaining the firearm or the person who would have had the firearm illegally.
Okay. I understand. Thank you.
All right.
We have another call. Good morning. Actually, it's the same call to clarify his question. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with culture also, right? With the same thing. So why is it? Is a ticklish right now? You say you just clarify something, right? But why is it? Even though the person who have a gun before, in a license no time, but they still get cheaper penalty. That can't be right. Even though somebody gun license, okay, the time up for the license and they got it, their penalty. But the penalty still greater than who you find with a gun. That's my point. Thank you for listening again.
Thank you, Carla. The penalty for somebody found with an unlicensed firearm is 10 years in the magistrate's court, 15 years or more in the High Court.
All right, let's take this next call. Good morning. You're live.
Yeah, Jacob, this is Jam Young here.
Yes, Jam.
I want to ask the good lady there in the studio with you. My question is, why is it when the force issue a licensed firearm to individuals, they go around town and lavish the firearms, want people to see they got a gun? What, the public want to know, concerned citizens want to know why that does happen, and what kind of sense the force will take if things like that, because we see it daily around, especially from some young people, and some of them who pretend they got business and ain't got a business. Licensed firearms supposed to be on your compound, or in your home. Have a good Jico. Hear man culture. We have a whole with peace, one thing going on.
Thank you for your question. If this brandishing firearm is not brought to the attention of the police, then the police does not know. And we, the police, or the commissioner in his capacity, who would have issued firearms license, he does not know that these people take the firearm and go and brandish it. So, and we are not in their mind, so we can't say why they do it. That is a question that you may have to ask one of them if they do brandish it. And if they do so, then you should make a report at the nearest police station. Okay?
Here's a question for you coming in from the social media end. What is the purpose of having a licensed firearm?
There are many purposes that you would apply for a firearm. Sometimes you may be moving large sums of money in your business from there to there. And in your estimation, you feel like having a firearm to protect your business and your home and your family is necessary. So you apply on that regard.
All right, thank you. You can continue the conversation.
Right. Okay. What are some of the challenges? Because I know there's no institution, there's no offices without challenges. So what are some of the challenges that you face in your office?
The biggest challenge we're facing right now is lack of staff.
Oh boy.
That is the biggest challenge we're facing.
Singing to the choir.
Recruitment is being done though, and within 2 months we should have 2 more Crown Counsel joining the team, which would bring the complement to 7. The full complement of the DPP's office should be 10.
Wow.
So we would be still understaffed.
At present you have half.
At present we have half, yes.
Wow.
But we are still expected to do the workload of 10 persons.
Yes.
Yes. So that is our biggest challenge, and we hope within the near future that it will be rectified.
Well, I hope so too. Because it's quite a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Yes.
Because we have 5 persons doing the work of 10. Right now, everyone is in one court all the time. We have paperwork to do. We have to prepare paper committal bundles so that the matters can progress to the High Court. So you find that we have to do that outside of working hours, because during 8 to 4
you're at court. Wow. Now that you mentioned paper committal bundles, what are these paper committal bundles?
Okay, so before 2018, I'm not sure if you're familiar, there were the preliminary inquiry.
Yes, PIs.
Yes, PIs. And the PIs were the preliminaries to go into the High Court, in that we had to call all the witnesses to make out a prima facie case.
Yes.
And then we go to the High Court.
Okay.
But now we have removed the need to have the witnesses at the magistrate's court level, so the case is determined on paper.
Okay.
So what the committal bundle is, it is a composition of the witness statements, brief summaries of the statements, as well as the submissions on the law that we refer to. So once that is prepared, then it is put before the magistrate, and the magistrate determines on paper whether there is sufficient evidence to go to the High Court or not.
Wow. So we cut out a lot of the, let's say, a victim being victimized twice and 3 times.
Yes, that was the goal.
Very good one. Yes. Caller? We have a caller?
Prosecutor, when I was growing up, St. Kitts had 2 courts. One court up by the park, Lozak Road, and the Grand Court. How much court St. Kitts have now after 50-something years?
Okay. We have 2 magistrates court in District A, 2 in District B, and 1 in Nevis, District C. We have 1 we have two high courts, the civil court and the criminal court.
Wow, I didn't know that, but that's a lot of progress.
And yes, there is a high
But
court in Davis as well.
you need to petition the chief judge for more prosecutors. Because the country is well populated now. When I growing up, St. Kitts only had like 20-something to 30,000 people. Now it's double that. So you need to petition the government or the prime minister for more prosecutors. You got to speak up. In America, women talk and let's get what they want. So you got to speak up, lady. Okay,
Yes,
good luck.
the government is aware and they are working to improve the staff. Yes.
Okay, and maybe one day you might end up being a chief judge or something. You never know. Just keep up the good
You
work.
never know. It's a possibility. Thank you.
Okay, because I remember a magistrate named by Arundel, and he ended up being the governor general. So he went from an ordinary judge, and he ended up being the governor general. So you never know what the future may hold for you. So just keep doing your job and do good work, and God will bless you. Plus, we got the first female governor general, so you might be the first chief judge in the island of St. Kitts. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, caller.
You have another call.
Right ahead.
Good morning, your life.
Yes, I'm here again. Now, to the two good ladies there, do the law has anything named exception? And my reason for that, asking a question. Some years back, an off-duty policeman and a civilian had a verbal confrontation. And the off-duty policeman went where an on-duty police was walking. And he take the on-duty police gun and shot the civilian in the street, kill him. And when the case was tried, that same police who shot the civilian, he was put into prison, but not down where all the regular prisoners are. He was in a room by himself upstairs. So I want to know if that is the exception for certain people when they commit crime. Breaking the law is breaking the law. Thank you very much.
Well, I guess that might have to be a question that you'll have to ask the Commissioner of Prisons, because we cannot dictate as police or as DPP office where to put prisoners when they reach over to the jail. Okay, so that might be a question for the Commissioner of Corrections, right? But thanks for your question.
We have another call.
Yes, please.
Good morning, your life.
Yeah, GQ, me again. Here, man, culture. Officer, where you work? What department you work in the force? You in the DPP office, or are you in the magistrate court?
You're referring to the police or to
I'm referring to you, where you work in the force.
I'm a subdivisional commander for District B.
Who's that? My lady from Sandy Point?
I oversee Sandy Point and all road stations.
Who is this? This is Miss Friends who used to be in the training school?
Yes, man.
Man, talk up now, man. Let me hear your voice. Let me feel you. You know, just come in and you know this thing like a palm of your hand, and don't put the commissioner in too much a thing. You know it, or you know it. And give us direct question. A question here for you before I leave.
Go ahead.
Why is it when you see offenses talking about littering and people teaching people things around town, and you call the police and you shut the police, especially littering, they tell you about the station. The station could come down and investigate anything. It's the police. Hardly anybody Stafford Meredith. This tall one, Sid Brooks. This one over in the country said to work up in the customs when he resigned. No, come on, lift the thing up, man. That's why we got so much lawlessness in the country. So much. Because police are playing the role and pulling up people. I mean, you see a man little. You tell the police you want to name. The police ain't supposed to supposed to ask in your name, Inspector. The police supposed to ask the person who you're reporting and his name, because you don't know if I want to take the matter to the court. And this the problem around Bastille. Serious offenses.
Caller got cut?
No, it call dropped.
Oh.
We have another caller here. Good morning.
You killed.
Yes, man.
Yeah, to the caller, but the police that shot the other guy and killed him, and they didn't house him with the rest of the prisoners. They do the same thing in New York, in America. They never put an officer, a peace officer with a regular prisoner because there will be retribution. So in America, if a police go to prison, they got a special prison for them. And if a government official, they got a special prison for them because they cannot risk their life by interacting in the same population with known notorious criminals. So that's the same thing happening in America. You never put a police officer in the same prison as you put the regular police. So what they're doing in St. is right, because you can't do that. It's a risk to the police life. Or just listen off here.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thank you very much for your clarity, caller. With reference to the one who dropped out, it is true that if an offense is reported to the police should respond and take action rather than telling the victim to go to the police station to make a report. A police is on duty more or less 24/7. Even if you are on your time off, you're supposed to take some sort of action. And as we said, justice must be seen to be done. Okay, so I share what the caller before was saying with reference to that, but it does not negate the responsibility of the victim either. If you don't get any satisfaction from one, then you move to another place where you feel like you can get it. So if you didn't get it from the officer on the street, you go to the station and you get your justice. Yes?
All right, we have another call. Good morning.
Yes, JQ, me again. This one is a serious one. I want the officer there, the district officer. Well, I know her very good. She supposed to know me very good too. I wanted to look in to Sandy Point Police Station. You make report down there, and no police are come. 4 days and 5 days, no police are come. And some serious reports. Sandy Point Station need to look into. And not just now. I got a sister, they got some problem. She had to go to her next policewoman. Policewoman call the station. Up to down the police come. I got to look into Sandy Point Police Station. Please. Because too much complaint from Sandy Point Police Station. I don't call in so much time about them. And he look like nothing. He look like a worse than get. They live in a big station now. He look like they're sleeping. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for your caller. I will check out some of the information that you just gave.
All right, you can continue. You can continue, yes.
Yes, please. DPP, we know that you have discretion as to what matters to prosecute. How is that decision made, and what factors would be considered in arriving at that decision?
Before a matter is prosecuted, the decision for prosecution is guided by a two-stage test.
Okay.
The first being whether it passes the evidential test, if there is a sufficiency of evidence. If there is sufficient evidence, we go on to the next stage, which is if it is within the public interest to prosecute the matter. Some matters are not prosecuted in the interest of justice because it's not within the public's interest to prosecute. In determining whether or not it is within the public's interest, we look at various factors: the seriousness of the offense, the level of harm that has been caused, the culpability of the offender, if it's a joint offense, for example, and say let's use a shooting. If there are 3 persons participating in the shooting and there's no independent evidence of the shooting, a decision might be taken to discontinue against one, the one with the least culpability, in order to get evidence against the others.
Okay.
We also look at the impact that it has on the community. So various factors are taken into account when deciding whether or not to prosecute.
Right, that's quite a lot to take into consideration.
Yes.
Wow.
You have another call?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, pardon me. Good morning, you're live.
Hi, good morning. A quick question. I'm got the young lady speaking about prosecution. In terms of like traffic violation, what changes can be made for these cases to brought forward in a quickly time manner than waiting so long? I'll continue listening.
You want to answer?
Well, currently the traffic department prosecutes their own matters. The scheduling of the court has a big role to play in whether or not, well, with the timing of the prosecution of those matters. I don't know if you can shed some light.
Yes, for District B especially, we have one magistrate, and that one magistrate would deal with all of the matters: civil, criminal, summary, those offenses, and it's when that matter comes up on the docket. We do have some challenges in terms of the number of cases, a backlog of cases. So sometimes a matter may happen, like, let's say November, December last year, and the matter may not try, a traffic matter may not try until maybe September this year because of the backlog of cases. They're trying to see how fast they can get out a lot of these traffic matters and other matters so that they can deal with current matters that's coming up this year. So that's the challenge, the backlog of cases.
You can continue your conversation.
Right. Yes, I was saying, with reference to what you would have said about the considerations for not prosecuting. At the same time, we do not want to disenfranchise anybody. We don't want to make anyone feel like that their matter is not important. But we understand that there are some things that you just can't put before the court, and there are some things that you must put before the court. So as long as we understand that and we weigh the balances, I don't think that we should feel like we have been short-changed in any way.
Yes, before the matters are discontinued, the victims are contacted, so they are aware, and they are given most times reasons why the matter is being discontinued.
Okay, that's good.
There are also cases where we have some victims that don't want to prosecute the matters, but we go ahead with it still because it is within the public interest to prosecute those matters. And some examples are those of the underage sexual offenses. We find that some of them come forward after some time. They have grown up.
Yes.
Because of the length of time that some of the matters take to go through the court process, and they say they no longer wish to continue with the matter because they've moved on. But in some cases, most cases, we do continue with the matters because it is within the public interest to continue with the matters.
Yes.
Because the laws are set for a particular reason to protect underage girls.
Right.
So that would be one of the reasons why we continue with matters, even though some do not want to continue with them.
And I think I can sympathize with you on that, because really and truly, the laws are meant to protect the vulnerable.
Yes.
And at that age, the child was vulnerable.
Yes.
And if the child is now grown up because of length of time before the case comes up, it seems as though the perpetrator gets away. And then he's allowed to go back and redo it all over again to someone else. So
Exercise. 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 This is a tsunami alert. Please head to higher ground. Please head to higher ground. Exercise. Exercise. Exercise.
I do apologize for the interruption there. That is a simulation that we are doing this morning as it relates if we were having a tsunami in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and what we will do if it was live. We will be interrupting our program to make sure that our citizens are prepared to follow the exercise. We'll be giving out some information for you in just a bit, but we're going to continue our program. Go ahead.
thank you. Right, so that's our tsunami alert. Remember, you move to higher grounds, you will have persons pointing you into the direction where you should go if you are on the street at this particular time. Thank you for your cooperation.
We have a call on hold.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, GQ.
Yes, go ahead.
It's very important to keep the country at alarm. You know, that is very good, and it should happen always with every DJs. Come on, you should be, because you gotta get your people aware of what's going on and what to look for. We don't know. We don't know what will happen. But anyway, GQ, I wanna ask Dano, my friend, and the lady who work in the DPP office, why is it when they go and they put matters to the court, especially in the magistrate court, what for minor offences and more serious offences, but you know, offences where could you just put them to clean one basket? Why is it they don't ask the magistrate, especially the magistrate? Why is it they don't ask the magistrate to give them mega sentences to clean 4th Street jail? Because the young men them always messing up 4th Street, messing up in the square. Give them the sentence. Don't send them out of jail. If I pack jail over there, let me have pen of bucklers. Full animals. Don't send them out of jail. Put them to clean one basket. You want a supervisor, I will walk free. But we cannot walk with what we get in our basket with littering. So asking my good friend named Khaki and the lady to talk about these things. Let me ask you a question, you Claude. Did the DPP, she's from St. Kitts, the lady who work in the office?
Yes, I am.
You from St. Kitts? Well, you know what's going on. But why are you putting these things in motion? You hear me, brother, just talk about a man named Arindel? Because I call you from the States, that's me, brother. Good morning, sonny boy. When Arindel around, you believe all these young little man could have in 4th Street to talk about the scene and causing problem in the public? Them things could happen. In fact, Arindel will not packing up no jail in the little boys, you know, they don't go out there for what? You either do minor offenses, if it's great, you go over 4 or 2 months. You're gonna come better than that, man. The country is slipping, lawlessness, like you throw down in the market and disturb them. Come on, I'm calling on the chief of police. I hear him talk about it in the 7-point plan. Come on. We're watching you. The court of conscience is watching. And if you even do the right thing, we're going to talk, you know. Me and Culture and others will talk. Have a good day. Good show. And now you come back.
Thank you very much, caller.
Inspector, before you continue though,
Yes,
I'm now here thinking about our exercise that should be happening.
Yes.
And if it was live, this program would have ended.
Yes.
It would have ended, we would have been, we would have changed our programming, probably put on an instrumental or something,
And leave.
and get people to the higher grounds.
Yes.
This would be our main concern. And as a matter of fact, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to continue our exercise. It's supposed to be until 20 past the hour of 10 o'clock. So we're going to keep this thing as if it's actually happening.
Yes.
Because it's supposed to be a live exercise.
Yes.
And we'll resume our regular programming at 20 past the hour of 10. So I do apologize for interrupting your programming, but it just dawned on me, if we're going to be having a tsunami alert, it wouldn't be tsunami alert and then back to the program.
And back to the program with tsunami alert and action.
And then action. You'll probably try and get your child up to school, find out if he or she is okay. The same thing for
Yes.
you. You'll touch base with your mom. Say, if your brother is close by, let's get ourselves together. This is the mindset that NEMA is expecting the people
Us
to do. So even though it's not live, it's not an actual tsunami, we should be cognizant of the whole exercise. So I do
please.
thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you
Both
as well,
of you,
Jackie.
and we're going to end our program here. I'm going to put on instrumental, and we're going to keep you up to date until 20 past the hour of 10 o'clock. We're supposed to be having that Caribe wave, exercise going on right now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of our program, and we'll be back next week to do it all over again. I'll let you have your parting words, if any.
Well, I would just like to say thanks for the persons who would have called in. Without your calls, our show would just be talking without, any real impact of people calling in and all that. We are grateful that you call. Continue to call. And our show is going to be back here live next week, Thursday morning.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to coming back in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and thank you for participating and cooperating with our live Caribe wave exercise that's happening right now.